Come on, dear. Hurry up. Here, put on your happy coat now. Daddy's going. We're going to move today. See? Come on now, make it snappy. Gotta move to our new house, Miss Eddie. Come on, come on. Please, hurry. We're moving to nice, big new home.
We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency. This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. Please stand by. Please stand by. This is a national emergency. After 3 years of the Medusa virus and no significant scientific discovery leading to any form of vaccination or cure, many of you at home may be beginning to lose hope. With over 3/4 of the population either infected and about to die or dead already, and the rest of us terrified at home, rest assured that scientific breakthrough is on the way. The National Virology Lab brings you updates for those still alive to watch about some new discoveries about yet another mutation of the virus. Do not panic.
New symptoms have been discovered. These include a sort of cold sensation around the neck and chest area, similar to as if cold hands were wrapped around you in kind of an insidious hug, or a chokehold rather. You may be familiar with the feeling when someone is standing right behind you. The warmth on your neck notifying you of their presence. Well, many patients have reported a similar feeling, only with an icy breath. When infected with this strain of the virus, nicknamed Med805, paralysis that's not much slower than patients seem to be, well, in a state of horror and panic, although unable to move.
This information to those who may remain alive. May God help us all.
As per recent discoveries conducted by drainage professionals, the Medusa virus has found its way into our ventilation and drainage. This means that the use of aircon or ventilation is strictly disallowed. Do not turn on your aircon. If a thick orange gas seems to steam from any drainage, be sure to cover your mouth and tell your children goodbye. Lock yourself inside, and make sure to consistently clean drainage pipes with any cleaning fluid registered to limit the spread of contamination. If, however, your complex relies on ventilation to filter and bring in fresh air, I'm sorry. Clean your pipes and restrict AC usage. Stay Medusa free.
This emergency meeting was called due to a rapidly intensifying outbreak of a novel virus that has puzzled scientists in the western United States. This virus, officially called K17-PXVI, is a distant relative of the Ebola virus, and it can somehow suppress a person's immune system and take control of their brain, forcing them into an aggressive, homicidal state. The outbreak has raised concerns across the world as the United States Armed Forces, one of the largest militaries in the world, continues to deteriorate at an alarming rate. Several members of the Assembly have come forth with a proposal, cutting off all North American countries from the rest of the world to prevent a global outbreak of K17-PXVI. Several large countries have voiced their support and are willing to use their own militaries for this initiative. We will now vote on this proposal. Shall more than 2/3 of the Assembly vote in favor of this? It will be passed.
"179 people have voted in favor of this, and 14 have voted against this. This motion passes."
OP-Verzug van de Nederlandse regering wordt het volgende bericht verzonden. Het Amerikaanse Plaxia-virus, officieel K17-PXVI genoemd, begint zich over Europa en in Nederland te verspreiden. DIT-virus is weer verwandt van het beruchte Ebola-virus, en als u het oploopt, is volledig functieverlies binnen 72 uur zeker. De laatste fase van DIT-virus is wanneer het de controle over de geest overneemt en iemand GEK maakt. DIT-virus verspreidt sich in de lucht, DUS trag als jeblief Gezichtsbedekking als jener Buiten gaat en vermieten auf Kontakt met anderen Buiten jehuishuden. Alle niet essentiële zakkelike en particulier gefinancierde instellingen zullen tot na de order met onmiddellijke ingang gesloten worden. En volledige uitschakeling is nu van kracht. We begrijpen dat DIT-missie hard is, maar het is in het belang van ons land en de rest van de mensheid. Als u symptomen van Plaxia-virus heeft, belden onmiddellijk de autoriteiten en plaats u zelf in quarantaine. U wordt afgehandeld, het niet naleven van deze regels heeft de dood tot gevolg. Bedankt voor uw medewerking.
The following message is being transmitted at the request of the government of the Netherlands. The American Plaxia virus, officially called K17-PXVI, has begun to spread across Europe and in the Netherlands. This virus is a distant relative of the notorious Ebola virus, and if you contract it, complete loss of function is certain within 72 hours. The last stage of this virus is when it takes control of the mind and drives a person insane. This virus is airborne, so please wear facial coverings when going outside and avoid close contact with others outside of your household. All non-essential business and privately funded institutions will shut down until further notice, effective immediately. A full shutdown is now in effect. We understand this may be harsh, but it is for the good of our country and the rest of humanity. If you have Plaxia virus symptoms, call authorities immediately and quarantine yourself. You will be dealt with. Failure to comply with these rules will result in death. Thank you for cooperating.
This is an emergency message from the Nigerian government. It has now come to our attention that the American virus has entered Nigeria. The virus was reported in Europe a few weeks ago after it became apparent the blockade set up around America had been too late and the virus had already crossed the Atlantic and into Europe. We believe the virus reached Africa from Europe via the Strait of Gibraltar and into this country through Morocco, Algeria and Niger. The virus, known officially as K17-PXVI and colloquially as Plaxia virus, is a deadly and distant relative of the Ebola virus. Despite this, the virus has different effects on the body. K17-PXVI is able to bypass the immune system and hijack the brain, creating a violent and bloodthirsty rage. If infected, you lose all autonomy and kill any living thing. Cases were reported in the local government areas of Zango and Bor at 7 a.m. this morning. It is now on lockdown. However, due to these areas having a population of over 100,000 people, and the amount of time the virus has been in these areas for being unknown, it is likely people infected have left these areas and traveled elsewhere. You are advised to remain in your homes and avoid contact with other people. Infection with the Plaxia virus will result in infection and loss of all autonomy. Common symptoms of Plaxia virus are sweating, fever, muscle fatigue, shortness of breath, a body temperature of around 40 degrees Celsius, and extreme thirst. If one of your family members are showing these symptoms, you must evacuate or execute them. Should they be infected, they will eventually become aggressive and viciously attack you and your family. You must execute them for the greater good of you and your loved ones. Fail to do so at your peril. The armed forces are now preparing to quarantine cities and prevent infected persons from traveling elsewhere. Be aware that this virus has brought the USA to a standstill, and should this virus begin to spread uncontrollably across Nigeria, it is likely this country will fall. Remember to stay vigilant, stay prepared, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, the worst has unfortunately come to pass. It's officially fallen at the hands of K17PXVI, as will the rest of the world. Much of the federal government has ceased functioning, and the president has been confirmed dead. The pandemic has beat us. Cases are continuing to rise, and more countries continue to collapse. Society's end is inevitable. Earth will transform into a hellish planet unsuitable for a life. As such, you will no longer be able to rely on the government for protection or necessities. You are on your own now. If you are watching this, thank you for being a part of the American dream, and everything this country stands for. Perhaps one day, it can be reinstated.
One must really learn to live less. I miss the flying grass outside. I miss the smells of the market. I miss my friend who looked into the wrong eye. What happened to human power? I can't see the sky anymore.
Where's my super suit?
What?
Where is my super suit?
Wait a minute! Who are...
And they were roommates.
Oh my god, they were roommates.